score could possibly win this game because it's been such a defensive effort marked by so many turnovers that I don't know that the offenses of these teams have any confidence in their ability to score. Upper Merion may have gained a little with that Fanthavong scamper up the middle, but neither team has much cause for celebration for their offensive play so far here tonight at Roosevelt.
You're watching NASD TV. I'm Mark Hodinsky alongside Dave Fazzini. 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on homecoming night at Roosevelt Field. Tie game 7-7 heading into the latter stages of the game. And the Eagles will receive a kickoff. Sheldon Mayer, the explosive one, stands at his own 10, ready to receive this kick from Dexter Bridge. And the kick is low, and it's sat on by Jim Gallagher. And another onside kick attempt, it looked like, or perhaps it was a failed squib.
I think their kicking game just isn't that good. The one at the beginning was definitely an onside kick attempt. That was just a miserable mistake. They can't do that. If Upper Merion wants to win this game, they've got to play some strategic, smart ball. That's stupid.
Correction, that's C.J. Douglas on the recovery, but nonetheless, the Eagles have the ball. Shannon Mayer in the shotgun, but there's a flag pre-snap.
What obscure, arcane penalty will come of this one? Again, the barking Dolphins, the failure to train the seals properly is the call. Sideline infraction.
1st and 10. Mayer in the shotgun. Hands it off to Kelliger. He's swallowed up, and he loses about 5.
That was a miserable run. That was just not good. It was a bad handoff and a bad run.
Kelliger with that explosive speed. And, you know, we see him catch passes. We see him run the ball, play defense, return kicks. They try to use him there, make something happen. It doesn't work. And now on their most important drive of the game so far, they're going to have 2nd and 11. Three wide receivers, or 4 actually, with Mayer in the slot. And Shannon Mayer under center. Looks to throw. It's a short pass to Sheldon Mayer. Makes a man miss, breaks a tackle, and now down the sideline. And what looked like it could have ended up as an incomplete pass or a gain of about 3 turns out to be a solid play.
Yeah, not bad on that one. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4. 3rd and 5.
And Sheldon Mayer's agility and elusiveness made that happen. And it wasn't a huge play.
That was solely created by Sheldon Mayer. Nobody else had anything to do with that play. The blockers weren't out in front, and Mayer just did it all on his own.
The pass was slightly off target as well. But Sheldon Mayer making something out of nothing. Battaglio lines up to the outside as a wide receiver. Normally the tight end. And here is Shannon Mayer. Goes short to Roby. He's going to come all the way back across the field. He's not going to get there. Almost got away for a second, but then he's swallowed up, and there was no way he was going to get out of that cloud of white jerseys and gold helmets. Inside of 10 minutes to go now. We've got a tie game still.
Yuck. That was terrible. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
So a pitiful drive for the Norristown offense on a crucial drive. And now their defense will have to make a hold. As you said, the next score could very well take this game.
To punt here is a wise move, provided they don't give up a big return. Their kick return defense is conspicuously terrible. So they have to do a good job here.
Cheeseborough back, the guy who dropped the one earlier. Fanthavong was also back, makes a good block, and now he's taken down on the play by the Eagles special teams coverage. That's an interesting move right there. They had Cheeseborough back there, as well as their quarterback, Alex Fanthavong, and they get an okay return.
I think they finally learned something about Fanthavong, that he can run, and he's probably their best runner. I wouldn't be surprised to see a designed run right here off the bat by Fanthavong. Upper Merion's been playing foolish offense at best so far. I think that they're going to change their ways here in the waning part of the fourth quarter.
Well, their last drive was their only productive one to date. So let's see if they can build off of that. Here's Fantavong, and he does keep it. Larry Smith wraps him up, and now Kelliger, Mayer, and company will finish him off. And you called that one.
Fantavong kept it, but he kept it in a weird way. He tried to hand it off and tried to get cute instead of running it up the middle on that draw. Running it up the middle on that draw, he had open space last time. There he had nowhere to go, and he's got to beat Norristown's defense to the outside. That's not going to happen. That was foolish.
You called that one, but so did Norristown's defensive coordinators, and they snuffed it out. Ball now lies on the 31-yard line of the Vikings. Pete Panici in the backfield with Alex Fantavong still under center with 4 wide receivers. Fantavong over the middle, and it's caught for a gain of about 10, but they lost yardage on that last play. So still a way to go for the first down, and on the catch, Jeff Saul.
Good pass by Fantavong over the middle, picking up some much-needed yardage, but it's going to bring up third down and about 4 yards to go. And Norristown, if Norristown's smart here on fourth down, third down, put some pressure on Fantavong. Make him make a mistake. Yeah, he can run. Yeah, he's quick, but he's not faster than Sam Kelliger or Mike Good.
Or Anthony Roby or Sheldon Mayer, for that matter. Too much speed on this Eagles defense. Let's see if they can use it here to contain the Vikings on 3rd and 4. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Fantavong drops back to throw, and he completes it to number 22, Name Cheeseborough, the 6-foot, 190-pound sophomore, coming up with a big catch. And now the Eagles need to crack down on defense. They can't allow a touchdown drive.
Nice slant on that one, going right back to it. And that was a good play by Upper Merion. Eagles got to get their hands up, and they have to cover that. They have to cover 82 on that slant.
Past midfield now into Eagles territory is Fantavong and his offense. Fantavong with the pitch to Panici. Does he have anything? No. He picks up about 3, but a good job by Mayer to contain him, and backside pursuit catches up to him. C.J. Douglas was the man to do that.
Douglas kept his outside arm free, and he was able to keep contained. That's a really good move, and that's really clutch. Every time you're looking to stop a pitch, a sweep, or something going to the outside, it's integral to keep that contained.
So 2nd and 8. Just 6.5 minutes now to go in this tie game. Both teams at 4 and 2, looking to make a run and get to the playoffs, and that pass is dropped. So a good play there by Derek Williams to make the hit and pry the ball free, and it's now 3rd and 8.
This is the force Upper Merion into a mistake down. It's 3rd and long. Fantavong's got to pass, or else he's going to do a keeper. One of those two things is coming. They're not going to pitch it to the outside unless they're completely stupid, and I don't think that's the case. So Norristown bringing pressure here wouldn't be the worst move in the world.
Well, 3rd and 8's a lot tougher than 3rd and 4. You can't run those quick slants. Fantavong's going to have to go down the field a little bit, or as you said, come up with some kind of a running play to the outside. So let's see what Fantavong does. He receives the snap from the shotgun, looking to throw. Pressure from Douglas. He goes deep, and it's incomplete. The only man who had a shot at it was in a blue jersey, Sheldon Mayer, but it falls harmlessly to the turf once again, and the only guy who had a chance at catching that was Norristown, so not a good throw.
I know you can't have a completely defeatist attitude and say I'm never throwing it to Mayer's side, but at the same time, a very foolish decision on Upper Merion's part to throw to Mayer. If you're going to throw at him, you throw the quick out. You don't throw deep. You're not going to complete it. How many times do I have to tell them?
Well, Mayer stays downfield. He'll receive another Dexter Bridge punt. He's been back there quite a bit tonight. The Eagles bring some heat trying for a block. Kelliger nearly got there. And the punt is out of bounds. They mark it all the way up to the 30-yard line. And if Kelliger didn't get a piece of that, he at least influenced it. And the punt was less than spectacular.
A less than spectacular punt, but it was also, as you said, influenced by Kelliger. directly referenced in that they forced the punter to make a hasty decision and a bad kick.
We already saw the Eagles punt block unit get in there and force Dexter Bridge to kick one straight in the air for under 15 yards. And this one not that bad, but certainly not great. Shannon Mayer with backs to either side of him in the shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff to one man, and now hands it off to Mayer. He doesn't get anything. Fake to Kelliger, give to Mayer, nothing.
That didn't fool anyone. The little dipsy doodle up the middle, not going to fool anyone. The double handoff move. It was executed much too slowly, and Upper Merion was sitting on it, waiting all the way.
Speedy Kelliger leaves the field momentarily in favor of the more powerful Derek Williams. Williams and Mayer are the backs. They're lined up in an I. Good and Roby, one of the fastest wide receiver tandems in the area, are split out wide. Here's Shannon Mayer. He throws for Good, and that was a wide open man, and Greenaway wrestles him down, and that's a good look by Shannon Mayer as he found the open man, Mike Good, and they get positive yardage.
Very nearly picking up the first down there, and right here they're in a position for a little quarterback sneak to pick up that easy first and drive down the field. What Norristown can't do is not do the quarterback sneak.
So they go with the short route there and let Good pick up a couple yards after the catch, and now they have third and a very short yard.
Follow Gallagher and Haley right up the middle. That's how to do it.
Williams in the backfield. He's got some power. They try to keep it with Mayer, sheds one tackler, and now he's brought down in the backfield. Forward progress, it won't be as far back as it appears, but certainly not a first down.
Follow them up the middle. If the quarterback sneak is going to work, you have to follow the blockers up the middle where it's supposed to go.
So the punt team will come on. We mentioned how busy Dexter Bridge has been kicking it away. Ian Hammer, almost equally as busy. At back the returning tandem. This time, Cheesebro is still back there, but this time it is 31 Pete Panici back there. We've seen Fanthavong back there. We've seen Dexter Bridge back there. And now they go with Panici. It's fielded by Cheesebro, though. A poor block by number 31, Pete Panici, and that return doesn't get much of anything.
18, Akeem Boyd was held all the way. The referee apparently not seeing it, although everyone else did. So Boyd being held all the way down and still able to make a solid play.
Jordan Taylor on the tackle. Ball on their own 32, Upper Merion, with 3:47 left to go. We'll try to untie this game. It was 7-0 Norristown for a long while, but Upper Merion finally cracked the scoreboard by doing what they tried right there, running the ball with Alex Fanthavong, but it was a lot more successful then than it was now.
Look who's warming up.
Just in time for crunch time, number 15, James Ramsey playing some catch over on the sideline, taking some snaps. And it'll be interesting to see if he could come back. I mean, this is certainly crunch time. I mean, if neither team could do anything, we could be headed to overtime for the first time this year. And 3:47 to go. Let's see what happens.
Ramsey's looking good, dropping back, putting some weight on that leg, and that's the key. Putting weight on that leg so you're able to push off and throw. If he can't put weight on it, there's no sense in him coming in. But if he can make the throw, the Eagles would much rather have him in there. Not taking nothing away from Shannon Mayer. He's done a very nice job here today. He stayed cool under pressure. But what the Eagles need now is they need their leader. They need their senior leadership out on the field in this very tough game against a very tough team.
Speaking of injuries, we got an Eagle down at the 25-yard line, so we don't have a number right now as he's surrounded by trainers. And we'll get that to you as soon as we can. And it's number 78, Terrence Edwards. He gets up. That's a good sign, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for Upper Merion after this injury timeout as Terrence Edwards trots off the field. He looks to be okay. And Shannon Mayer, as you mentioned, when he first came into the game, you could see it. He was a freshman. He was nervous. He made some rookie mistakes. But as the game went on, I was pretty impressed with what I saw. He made a couple of good throws to Roby, one of them for the long touchdown. And if this guy's going to be the quarterback for years to come, perhaps for the next 3 years here at Norristown, I really like the future for us. I think this kid could be a really good quarterback.
I like what I see. The first couple mistakes, as you said, were conspicuous, but rookie mistakes.
Fanthavong drops back to throw after a play action and completes it. That's number 8, Dexter Bridge.
Nobody has much interest in covering Bridge. He's made several big plays on the Eagles here. I guess they figure he'll drop it, but they've been figuring wrong. So they should start figuring that he'll catch it, and maybe covering him is a good idea.
First and 10 for Upper Merion. 3 minutes and change to go in the fourth quarter.
Upper Merion's looking for that last strike option. They're keeping the ball. They want to eat up clock and go for it at the end. They don't want to give Norristown any more chances than they have to.
3 wide receivers all to the far side, but they hand it off to Panici in a big hole. And the safeties, Williams and Dinolfi, converge on the hit, but way too much space for Panici. And now the Vikings are really threatening.
Way too much there. Very porous defense.
That's now into Eagles territory at their 39. And we saw Dexter Bridge make that catch earlier. He's also the kicker, should it come down to a game-winning field goal attempt. With just 2:37 to go. They're well outside of his range now, but a couple more first downs, and they will no longer be out of his range.
Fanthavong looking to run on this one.
Fanthavong gives it off, and it's Panici with a gain of about 4.
They're going to go back to that soon. It worked too well that one time to not go back to it.
So we've got a timeout taken by Upper Merion. It's their first charged timeout in the second half.
I don't know why they call that timeout there. That's completely perplexing because there's plenty of time, and if they want to go for the final strike option, that was not a good move.
With 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go, you would think that they could save their timeouts, and if they're still out on the field offensively, they could use them when they're inside of a minute or at least inside of a minute and a half, but they use one here. It'll just give the Eagles more time to score if the Vikings score quickly here or turn the ball over.
Right.
Ramsey continues to warm up, throwing to Evan Battaglio, and interesting development late in this game. We saw Ramsey go out earlier in the first quarter, and as we mentioned, Shannon Mayer took over, had that one deep bomb to Anthony Roby. That's the only Eagles touchdown of the game, and let's see who the quarterback will be when Eagles come out on offense. Hopefully, it'll still be a tie game.
James is running on that leg, so he's looking like he can push off and put some weight on it. And Dennis Flynn's watching him intently, making sure that is indeed the case.
So 4 wide receivers, 3 of them to the far side for Fanthavong, goes short. And he's wrapped up by Good, and others come and finish him off. Number 4, Andrew Legendaire on the catch and short run. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go now. The clock is running, and 3rd and 7 for the Upper Merion Vikings. No 2-minute warning in high school, so the clock continuing to run now at 1:53, and that timeout, should the Vikings not convert this, will look like a bad decision.
Certainly true.
Fanthavong rolls out, looking to throw. Now he's under heat. Finds some space, dancing around in the pocket, and now throws it away. Great job by the Eagles' defensive line.
Great job by the Eagles' defense. And, Mark, as you said, that timeout call was brutal.
They really saved the Eagles some time to try and make something happen. Perhaps with Ramsey, or will it be with Shannon Mayer? We will find out momentarily. The Vikings will leave their offense on the field, however, so
they are all in, as they say in championship poker. They're going for it.
The Eagles 1 down away from their biggest stop this game. a pivotal play in this game coming up right here. Fanthavong in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers near side, 1 far side. Receives the shotgun snap. Pressure from Douglas. Goes over the middle, and it's caught by number 8. And Dexter Bridge is going to run into the end zone, and it'll be a touchdown pass from Fanthavong to Bridge. And it's a 13-7 Vikings lead late in the fourth quarter.
Very sloppy defense by the Eagles. And their controversial let's not cover number 8 strategy turns out to be an unmitigated disaster.
Dexter Bridge having a heck of a game. And now he's on to kick the extra point, which will make it, should it be through, a 7-point game. Bridges' extra point is good. And the Eagles will have 1 minute and 27 seconds to try to retie this game up and perhaps send this game into overtime. Will it be Shannon Mayer or will it be James Ramsey to lead this team on a fourth quarter drive?
Mark, that was terrible in every conceivable sense and definition of the word. Very, very bad defense, bad pass rush, no pass rush, not even existent, and the coverage was abysmal. Number 8, he exists, guys. Cover him.
And how much of a turning point was that run by Fanthavong, the touchdown run earlier? Even if they didn't get a big play out of it after that, it changes the defense a little bit and opens up those kinds of passes that Fanthavong just threw to Bridge for the touchdown.
Oh, it changes the defense. It changes the whole defensive philosophy. They previously didn't think Fanthavong was a threat to run, but Upper Merion discovered something new about themselves when they had Fanthavong gain that big touchdown run.
And that's why I look at that play as a huge turning point in this game. But the Eagles still have life, just under 1.5 minutes. They're going to try to come back in this one, send it into overtime. It's going to be a tough drive for them, though, especially if they're without their senior quarterback, James Ramsey. But he may very well be their quarterback on this drive. We will find out after this.
Well, they've got Mayer back there.
They squib it. They're not going to give Mayer a chance. It's picked up by Kelliger, who's just as much of a threat. He tries to go to the outside. There's not much there. He's wrestled down, and the Eagles get okay field position just past their own 35.
And number 15, James Ramsey, is out on the field for the Eagles.
Well, it's now time for the rust versus rest factor. Is he going to be rusty because he wasn't out there the whole time getting a rhythm? Or is it just going to help him that he's rested and while the defense might be relatively fatigued?
That's a good question. It depends on how well he's able to use that leg. If he can still roll out, it's a definite plus. But if not, it's a definite minus.
Milo Hill is the 4th wide receiver brought in for this passing situation. Ramsey drops back to throw. Heaves it over the middle. Mayer was open, but the throw was not on target, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10. They had a chance there at something, but Ramsey couldn't quite make that throw.
They had a chance there at something big, James Ramsey there, but like you said, he just couldn't hit Sheldon Mayer, who was open over the middle with 1:17 here to go in the game.
And again, we'll mention the magnitude of this game. Both of these teams are at 4-2, and right at the edge of the playoff picture, one way or the other. And this game's definitely going to be big for both teams in determining who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. 4 wide receivers once again. Ramsey in the shotgun. Looks to throw once again. Finds Milo Hill near side. And he's tackled inbounds at about the 40. Clock running at 1:07.
The Eagles have got to get some pep in their step here and run the hurry up.
They got 3rd down coming up now too, so a minimal gain there on that short pass to Milo Hill. They try the same exact play. Did he get out? No. They wind the clock. 46 seconds and winding, and it'll be 4th down and a couple. And time a factor, downs a factor. And it's fortunate that they got those gains to Milo Hill, so this isn't 4th and long. But at this point, You need to see something downfield more. You can't throw those 5-yard hooks.
You've got to see something downfield. Mark, you're absolutely right. The 5-yard hook is not cutting it here. This situation is too dire.
The Eagles took a timeout to stop the clock at 42 seconds. 4th down and about 2. And this will be interesting because on 4th and 2, you might not want to go deep down the field, but time's a factor, down's a factor. What do you do here?
4th down, you can't go downfield. You can't risk it. But what you need to get out of bounds. You need to be a short out, but get out of bounds. Milo Hill's got to get out of bounds. Anthony Roby out of bounds. That's the key. That's what you need to do. Then set up on your 1st down. You have several strikes downfield, but picking up this first is crucial.
E.J. Smith, James Ramsey, and the rest of the Norristown Eagles starting offensive unit out in that huddle, trying to figure out what they're going to do on 4th and 2.
A very, very interesting play, the play of the game right here.
4 wide receivers, 1 tailback. Ramsey to throw, goes over to the far sideline, dropped by Good, turnover on downs, and the Upper Merion Vikings are 37 seconds of game time away from going to 5 and 2 and bolstering their playoff hopes. A big blow for the Eagles as this game was there for the taking, but a couple of missed opportunities, and the Eagles will fall to 4 and 3. Next week, they're at Wissahickon 1 week from today, a 7 o'clock game next Friday. The Upper Merion Vikings go up to the line. We expect to see a kneel down. Very disheartening loss for the Eagles. Only able to score 7 points. And you know what? We mentioned several times, and I mentioned it several times because I believed it was that important. The Vikings coming into this game 4-0 when they hold their opponents to 7 or less points, 0-2 when they allow more than 7. And that trend will continue here today as the Eagles only able to muster 7 points.
Mark, that's exactly right. And what you said, it was a very prescient remark when you mentioned that earlier. It was right on the money. That 7 is there's some sort of mystical or cosmic significance to that number with these Upper Merion Vikings. Every time they allow fewer than 7 points, they win the game. But what has happened here tonight is they have stuck to it. I mean, their defense has shut Norristown down. Upper Merion has not looked impressive at all. However, they win this game because of good old-fashioned defense.
And sometimes it's not the prettiest way to win, but that kind of smash-mouth defense, I mean, you saw Greenaway making several plays out there. He was one of the brightest stars in this game, if not the brightest. And next week, I mean, you talk about this team's playoff hopes, the Vikings that is. Next week, they're at home against PW, and if you know anything about what the Eagles did to the Plymouth White Marsh Colonials last week, you'll be led to believe that the Vikings will be able to handle them. And
yeah, it should be a devastating humiliation because PW basically had it was basically a JV team out there because all their starters had either graduated or were hurt, and that's why Norristown was able to just unload on them. Tonight was nothing like that. Tonight goes back and harkens back to the days of leather helmets and gridiron grates when they first started playing football here in historic Roosevelt Field, named for Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders. The Upper Merion versus Norristown contests have long been hard fought. This one was no exception, but Mark, this is a heartbreaking defeat for the Eagles.
Well, the clock expiring moments ago, and now the players out for their handshakes. And boy, I mean, the Eagles defense held the Vikings offense scoreless through 3+ quarters. But then Alex Fanthavon came alive. And he wasn't spectacular, but he made the plays when it really mattered. He was extremely clutch, and his numbers overall might not be that impressive, but when it was time to deliver, he delivered.
And another big storyline tonight for Upper Merion especially, and for Norristown, is Sheldon Mayer. I mean, he really was unable to do anything on offense, and as a result, the Eagles were unable to churn out any yards and get any points.
And we saw James Ramsey come back late in the game, so that's a good sign for weeks to come. Hopefully he'll be cleared to play next week.
Yeah, hopefully Ramsey will be fine, and hopefully the Eagles can put this loss behind them as they go to Wissahickon next week and be able to get some wins and possibly propel them onward to playoff victory.
This loss right here is not going to help, though, as once again the Eagles fought a 4-3. And once again, your final score, the Upper Merion Vikings 14, your Norristown Eagles 7. And for NASD TV, I'm Mark Haldinsky alongside Dave Fazzini. You've been watching NASD TV.